Caspervision. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Caspervision. Today we have a professional boxer here today, Brad Pauls, aka the Newquay Bomb.
Thanks for having me, guys. Happy to be here. Yeah, cheers, boys.
No worries, mate. We got a middleweight, 16 fights, won every single one of them.
Correct, yeah.
Undefeated, man.
I'm on a roll.
That's unreal.
So Brad, bet you think you're fucking hard, don't you?
Sometimes. You have to, I think. It'd be weird if I didn't.
Jesus Christ! Like I was before you were coming here, and like obviously it's been leading up for a couple of months before because you've been super busy, man. You've been out and about everywhere, especially after the fight with Kelly, right?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I had a really long camp, so I had a little break after and had some duties. I had my brother's wedding. I was best man.
Oh, nice.
So I had to go and do that little holiday and just live a normal life for a little bit. You've got to recharge your batteries, haven't you? If you work too hard and too strict, you'll end up burning out. So I had a little bit of off time for a month or two. And then back in the gym for the last few months. What
was the speech like? Did you crack any jokes? That's the worst thing about being a best man, isn't it? I bet
it's pressure. Yeah, it's my second time doing it. Did it for my mate, did it for my brother, but I absolutely roasted him.
Yeah,
because I'm just getting my digs in early. He's gonna get me back.
Yeah.
And literally, the bride's family, I think they was a bit shocked about some of the stuff I was saying about him going to jail, drug smuggling, everything bad you could possibly. And the family was like, well, and I was like, okay.
Oh mate.
Even his missus was like, I didn't fucking know about this.
That's it, mate.
Yeah, but it was good fun, mate. Yeah.
So I want to, because obviously a lot of people are tuning in, probably know a lot about you anyway, about your fighting career and things like that and what's coming up, what you've done. It would be nice to know a little bit about, where you, I know where you grew up. You're a local lad. What it was like in school. Did you always want to be a boxer? Did you get into fights and all this sort of stuff, So take us back to right near the beginning.
Yeah, no, you pretty much sussed me out, mate. I just wasn't doing anything else. Like as soon as I was young, you started off with Bruce Lee movies, and then you like all the combat stuff, and then as soon as I was old enough to box, I boxed at 10.
Yeah.
And in school, I was just obsessed with fighting. I'd go to school and I'd love having fights, detention all the time.
Shit, really?
Yeah, I got in a lot of trouble at school. I wasn't the best at school. Sort of like I was quite an aggressive kid, like at times. But then the more I boxed, the better I was being in school.
Yeah.
Just that typical like up to no good little rugrat running around Treloggan having street fights and that. And
then why do you, without like, I mean, I don't want to get the couch out, let you lie there and how that make you feel, but like, where did that come from? Where do you think that aggression came from?
I don't know. My brother's pretty similar. I had a tough time with my brother. He's 2 years older and he can fight a bit. So we used to fight all the time. And where he's a bit older, he's a bit bigger. He's bigger than me now. And it's quite tough fighting him. So it's just, I think it's just in you.
Yeah.
And like, no matter what happened, I was always meant to do that. That's what it feels like. It was just in my bones. I just loved fighting. That's it.
So what is it about the fighting that you like? Is it about the actually just beating somebody up, or is it like, well, it could be. It could be.
Make me sound like an arsehole, mate. Yeah. You like hurting people? You like hurting innocent people?
No, but it might be sort of like a power sort of thing, or maybe just it made you feel better because it's just venting some fucking aggression or something. I don't know.
Yeah, it does. I think like it's really complicated, and then it's like obviously exercise makes you happy.
Yeah.
And then when you fight, it's like controlled aggression, and then there's loads of benefits as well. But I think it's just when you put it into like sport, it's just like winning and being competitive. Do you know what I mean? And like, I don't know. I think it's just in you. I think some people just got it in them.
Yeah, definitely.
That's what I was meant to do. I was not good at much else.
I used to run away from it, mate. I used to run away from a fucking fight when I was a teenager.
Fight or flight?
Yeah. I used to run away, mate. Yeah, I didn't want to fight,
No.
Whereas some people do, don't they?
Well,
obviously Brad wants to fight. Yeah.
But it's funny when you said that the more that you learned how to box and stuff, the less you wanted to fight, because I felt like that doing kickboxing. When I felt like the more I did kickboxing, I didn't feel like the need to try and prove myself and things like that.
Yeah, no, you got it spot on. I think you're getting your kicks elsewhere, so you don't need to like prove yourself in school or in the street or anything like that.
Yeah,
you're getting your kicks somewhere else.
Yeah.
And like you got to be honest, like, it's good for the ego. If you go and have a boxing match and win, it is like the best feeling ever. If you've ever done it, it's like the purest. I think like boxing's like one of those old school sports where it's like it's proper real. There's no like diving and faking. And,
Yeah.
do you know what I mean? It's like it's real. So like when you win, it's like a pure like victory. Like
yeah. Who is it? It's I can't remember the boxer. I mean, there probably quite a few of them say it, but some of them say obviously when you go into the ring, it's like gladiators. You know, back in the day when it was gladiators fighting against each other.
Imagine the fucking adrenaline.
Because it is. It's fucking.
Did you have that? Like?
Honestly, best feeling ever. So addictive, man. It's the best.
See, I was forced to go to kickboxing competitions in London. I'm not forced. I was told to, and I was like, yeah, okay, this is gonna be really good. But half of me was shitting it, and half of me was excited. Yeah, you know. But going into the ring, it was like I remember even when the bell would go off, it would be like ding 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 ding. Like shit, it's like focus, and it's really nerve wracking. But afterwards, you feel great, don't you?
Yeah, you feel alive, didn't you?
Yeah,
that's how humans are meant to be.
Yeah,
not soft and stuff. It's meant to be proper tough like that. That's how it's meant to be.
Yeah. So so you started boxing at the age of 10. Who got you into that then?
Yeah, there wasn't a club in Newquay, so as soon as I heard there was one being made up, actually, so it's just started in one of the units down there.
Oh, did it?
So yeah, it started off. It was a guy called Gareth Young. This is a long time ago, 2002, 2003.
Yeah.
And it started off in one of the units. We had 2 bags in there, and there's like not obviously it's now how big the units are. It's not very big. And then we just started in there and then moved around certain places in Newquay. But once the club had started, I was just in it.
Focused.
Yeah, I just loved it. Yeah.
So who's coaching you now? Who's training you now?
So now I've had a few different coaches, but my professional coach is Terry Stewart, and he's done it all. He's been there for years. All sorts of famous people's corner and stuff.
Oh, really? Yeah.
Yeah, he's seen and done it all. So I trained with him up in Essex, and yeah, he's a brilliant coach. So yeah, I'm lucky.
Okay, so I saw a video of you training. It's almost like a sort of a montage of you just training and exercising. And then there's a guy in there, and his son is also a boxer.
Yeah, that's right. So I said Idris Stewart, yeah. So I trained with a dad, and his son's got his debut in 2 weeks, just turning pro. Yeah, so
right,
all middleweight, all the same weights. We all train together in the gym. He's a good lad, and yeah, busy gym.
Did you have to? How do you become pro? It might sound a really stupid question, but for me, I mean, do you just apply?
You're just good, and then you just fucking progress up the leagues, and
it's what you want to do as a pro. Like if you want to go and win titles and stuff like that, you're better off doing as best as you can as an amateur. National titles, if you can get on the GB squads, everything like that. And then when you turn pro, you've already had that higher level competition, and it's going to put you in a better. You've done like a better apprenticeship.
Yeah. Right.
And then when you turn pro, but turning pro, all you need is a manager.
Yeah.
And then you just need to. It's a lot of like health and safety, medicals and stuff like that, brain scans. Pass all them, and then you're good to go. And if they can see you're capable of defending yourself properly, then you can get your pro license. But it's in what sort of way do you want to turn pro? You want to give yourself every advantage. Right. So yeah. So then it's do your amateurs properly, go as far as you can, and then do your apprenticeship sort of thing.
What was it like when you first turned pro? I bet it was a big, like, fucking yes, I've made it.
Yeah, it was good. It was good. It was a long time ago. It was December 2015. So right, I was in my early 20s, and like I hadn't seen anyone from Cornwall do it before. And I sold I boxed at York Hall. I don't know if you know where that is.
York Hall, yeah.
Bethnal Green.
I've been there before.
Everyone's been there. It's like everyone's boxed there. And I was a young lad and sold 120 tickets to people from Newquay. Yeah. Which is it's a lot for people to travel. Yeah. So I felt like I was quite popular, and I thought, this is going to be sweet. Yeah. And then, and I went out and I knocked them out in like a minute, and it was sweet. Yeah, it was flying start and that, and then...
I think I remember that. I remember seeing it all over the internet and that, and I was like, oh, look at this lad, he's Newquay boy. And I was like, fucking hell. I remember seeing it, And then you was kicking ass. Everyone fucking loves you.
Straight away, support was like mad. Yeah. Like I thought
you're doing well.
Yeah, I thought I'd get a little bit of hate. I don't know why. I don't know, but then everyone's just been so sound. Like, there's not been one bit of hate. Everyone is just like the nicest to me. Like,
to be fair, mate, a lot of the good pro boxers, they've all got a little bit about them, haven't they? They're a little bit.
Well, it's funny you should say. You talk about sort of the attitude towards it.
Yeah, they've got a bit of attitude, but
it's funny you should say that, because this is one thing I was going to say. And now, obviously, when you watch pro boxers and stuff, and they're on that like face off and things like this, right? You always hear, you're fucking this, you're a fucking bomb, you're a bomb, and all that sort of stuff, and they were slagging each other off and calling each other this and their mums that and whatnot. One thing I did have noticed about you, you don't really go down that route, do you? You're quite sort of, you're quite calm and collective, aren't you?
Yeah.
Respectful, I should say.
I think like if you fake it too much, if you try and like get the views up and be like arrogant and like controversial and stuff and like be too cocky, it'd be too fake. You'd see right through me because it's really just not my personality at all. And when I came up watching boxing, I used to absolutely love Ricky Hatton.
Yeah,
and
mate.
Ricky Hatton, he was just that cool guy down the pub. Like he's just sound. And I just loved,
chills,
just loved the style. Yeah, humble guy. Like it was sweet. So I think maybe that's
probably part. Yeah, absolutely, man. That's probably half of the reason. Well, not half of the reason. I think that's some of the reason why you didn't get any hate from the UK, and also, there isn't, because we're such a small town. We haven't got. I mean, we've got a few surfers, I would say, that are, right up there and pro.
Yeah, there's a few about in there. There's Alan Stokes and Tom Butler and that. Yeah.
Luke Dillon.
Yeah.
Going out with his sister.
Hey.
Going out with his sister.
Oh, okay.
Oh, yeah. Nice, man. Sick.
Yeah.
Get Luke's on
good. Yeah. You love it, mate. You love it.
Mate.
He's sound.
So talk about surfing. When you were growing up, did you have any other hobbies like surfing, skateboarding, things like that?
Did a little bit at Newquay Hornets. Rugby, I liked a bit of rugby. I liked the contact and that. But to be honest, mate, I was pretty shit at everything else. I was. Football, shit. Rugby, pretty shit. Can I swear?
Yeah, mate, yeah.
No, fuck it, we got to
pretty shit everything, mate, yeah. But, nah, just boxing, man.
And I suppose the other thing I was going to say as well, like, when you go pro and all these interviews you've got on that, were you prepared for the television, the interviews and stuff like that? Because that must be a totally... you don't buy into that, do you? No. People that want to be a boxer, I want to go in the ring, I want to fight, I want to get medals. I don't want to be doing this shit.
The fame that comes with it.
Yes, it's the whole package. It took some getting used to. I absolutely hated it, having the camera in my face. I've got used to it, and I'm probably okay in doing it, but I don't enjoy doing it. I don't enjoy the camera on me. But when you turn pro, it's more than just boxing. The way the world is, it's all of a sudden you got to do marketing and social media, and you got to be a ticket seller, and you got to know how to sell yourself, and you got to try and get sponsors, and you got to know how to promote yourself, and all these things. When really, when I was amateur for 12 years, all I did was just turn up and fight people. Didn't even have social media. I just rocked up. And all of a sudden now I've got to make myself a brand and make myself appealing on social media, and I don't even like social media. I do it because I have to because of boxing. Really? If I didn't box, I'd delete it all.
Are you all right with it though? All the promotion or is it starting to do you nut?
I do it because I have to do it. It's just like a part of the job you don't like you have to do. But I understand it helps. Anything that will help my boxing, I'll do. Do you know what I mean? So I don't enjoy doing selfies and that. Do you know what I mean? But I have to do it. So it's just one of those things. But some boxers love it.
Now on our fucking podcast. I don't fucking enjoy it.
I had to drag him in. That's why he's got his black eye. Get on the. Oh man. So tell us about because you're fucking ripped, mate. We've seen you in the ring. Fucking, is that all year round? Is it?
Nah, it's balanced, man. Not as bad as remember.
Did you get Did you get Paddy? Off season, the UFC. Paddy
the Baddie.
Paddy the Baddie.
Braddy the Baddie.
Yeah, man.
Just gets well fat. To be honest,
have you seen how fat he gets, mate?
No, I haven't.
Are you fucking joking?
No,
I'm telling you, mate. How I think in the ring, what is he? Maybe 11 and a half, 12 stone, maybe something like that. Right. He's ripped.
Yeah.
And then he just
does a bit of a fury.
His face just goes round.
He's
massive, mate, and he just loves eating. He's just addicted to eating.
If he can shift it, mate, and fight like that, he's fucking good.
Yeah, he's their own. You sort of, when you're making weight and stuff like that, and you go for such long periods of time, like strict dieting, and it's really not nice, man. It's absolutely horrible, but you got to do it. And then once the fight's over and you can eat what you want, you're eating with a vengeance,
right?
Because you've been starving for so long, and not being able to eat what you want. You're eating out of anger. You're and you go on a mad one. That's why the weight just goes.
What do you have to be then to be the class that you're at?
11 stone 6, 72.6 kilos.
Right.
But most people, I'm never near the weight, and I'm not tall for the weight, but I have to be very precise to make the weight and no messing around.
So you want to be 11.6, basically?
11.6, but then when I fight the next day, I'm not 11.6. I'm a lot heavier.
Right.
A lot heavier.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah. But everyone does it. Give yourself the advantage.
Yeah, man.
And everyone at super middleweight's about 6'3", so I'm all right. I'll stay at middleweight.
Yeah, man.
So I'll stay down there. It's all right.
So you're not even contemplated going sort of like light heavy?
Nah.
No.
It's I'd be giving them too much of an advantage.
Okay.
And I'm not a massively tall middleweight. I'm strong for the weight, but I can comfortably make middle. And yeah, so as long as I feel good and I'm comfortable here, I'll stay here.
Yeah.
And at light heavy, they're like 6'4", so
yeah.
What was the Kelly fight like, man?
tough.
It looked tough.
It was a tough. It was a gut check, man. Like,
yeah. He could take a punch, mate. He took quite a lot off you, I reckon.
Yeah,
definitely.
He did, mate. He did. He had a good engine on him. He was neat. He was hard to catch clean. And he had a good punch on himself.
I can't remember if it was 10 or 12 rounds.
10.
10
yeah,
rounds.
yeah. But on the night, I was a little bit like, this is a close fight. And then when I watched it back, I was like, nah, I definitely won that.
Oh, your fitness is fucking really good, mate.
Oh,
Yeah.
mate, yeah.
You was like real good, like all the way up to 7-8 rounds. You didn't, and then you could tell you were both tired a little bit the last couple of rounds.
Yeah. And then I think the 10th round, I cut his eye open and I bust his eye up.
Yeah.
And I had to win the 10th to win the fight. That's what my corner said.
Right.
I had to empty the tank in the 10th, and that's what done it. But I've never been there before. It's not like I boxed on TV before and I was used to it. I was a bit more nervous.
Yeah.
And I've never been in the trench. I've never been in the 10th round before. I was in the trenches a little bit. It's a good in your head. You know what you can do, can't you? You think I can do that, but then going to do it. It's like you're justifying what you're thinking anyway. But I needed to go and do that. If I'm gonna have tougher, they're gonna get tougher. I needed to have that to see that I knew who I was. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
it was tough.
Was that the first fight after the COVID? Coming back from COVID?
I did have a 6th round in Plymouth in last October.
Right.
Just to get the ring rust off.
Yeah.
But it wasn't like similar opponent level. It was sort of just get me back in.
Yeah.
So it was my first
like a crash test dummy.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
So, like leading up to this fight with Kelly, then do you? In my head, I think I don't know, it's because I've watched too many movies or something like that, you know. But I think, see what he does. He's got a good left. He's got a good left. You know. But do you sort of like sit there and watch all of his fights, or his most recent fights, and see what he's like? His nicks are, is like, you know, what he usually does, and
a little
patterns.
bit. I watched one fight that a friend sent me, and then leave the rest of it to my coach, and he'll go, I think we should do this.
Right.
Because I think you can overthink it.
Yeah.
You sit there and you try it, but every fight is different, and every style brings out a different style of the other opponent. So you could go nitpicking everything, and it's going to be nothing like you thought it was. And you're watching these fights of 2-3 years ago, they've changed since then.
Right.
Yeah.
So you can overthink it as much as you want, but I tend to think, don't worry about them. Make sure you're the best you can possibly be.
Yeah.
Because you can't control what they're up to. Do your own thing. Make sure you're sweet. Watch one fight. Okay, I think this might work in your head a little bit. And then that's all you need.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you think has been your best performance where you felt almost like fucking a complete machine? You know, just everything's working right for you.
I'd say I defended my Southern Area title in Plymouth against Robbie Chapman. And Robbie Chapman, he was really good at the time. He's still good now, but I think he'd had like, I don't know.
I ain't seen that fight.
He's white guy, got dreadlocks.
Right.
And he'd never been dropped amateur or pro in his whole career. He'd been trade boxing for a long time. And my manager was like, you won't knock this guy out. And because he managed both of us, he was like,
oh, your manager said that?
He said, you won't knock him out. He was like, he is. He doesn't get dropped. He's tough. And I went out, and the first few rounds were difficult. He was all over the place. My mum walked out of the Guildhall in Plymouth. Was like, I can't. No. So I lost the first couple. Mum was like, I can't watch this. And then by the time she come back in, I just iced him.
Nice.
Yeah, iced him. Yeah.
Maybe your mum walking out gave you that little fucking. I'm not losing, Mum. I'm not losing.
Are you proud, Mum? Are you proud?
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
So has he gone like cold?
Yeah. He's pretty much out, and I think I dropped him in the 5th and then stopped him in the 7th. But that was I felt like I was strong. Do you know what I mean? It felt
Nice,
good.
mate,
Yeah, it was good.
So what's next then? British
Hang
title?
on, before we get into that, right? This Kelly fight, I have to say, because I made a note here, and I might be stirring something.
Go on.
But I saw one of his interviews afterwards, straight after the fight. Do you know what he said?
I haven't watched any. I've heard.
Do you want me to tell you what he said?
Go on, tell me. Yeah, it's fine.
So he said, I'm paraphrasing now, right? But he on his mind, he won the fight.
Yeah.
And the guy come up to me, he's like, you know, how would you feel?
He didn't win the fight. I don't think he won the fight.
And he says, well, that's not what Brad and his team said.
It's mad.
And I was like, listening. He goes, yeah, well, Brad came up to me and his team and said, sorry about the judge's decision. We know that it should have been yours.
Nah.
And I thought,
what?
It's Brad. I thought, hang on a second. Brad wouldn't have gone up to him and his team.
He must be talking shit.
Well, this is what he
100%.
said. It's what he said.
100%.
You won that fight, mate. I saw that fight.
Well, honestly, that's what he said after the fight. I think he was obviously a little bit bitter.
I think that's maybe his way of trying to pull in the rematch. But,
right.
After the fight, he was really nice to me and he was respectful. And I was like, mate, like respect, because it was a close fight and you got to respect people like that. So I was like, mate, respect. It's a real close fight. Like, fair play for like stepping up and having a tougher fight. It's like a lot of people don't. And then that was it. And then I heard about that and I was like, where's he got that information from?
Oh, you heard about it then?
I heard about it and I was like, where's he got that information? I said to my coach, I was like, did you say anything? He was like, nah. And I was like, I didn't say anything. So he's just fabricated this thing in his head. And I'm like, that's all right.
Maybe if I just come up with some complete and utter bullshit, it's so extreme, people might think, it's that extreme, it might be real.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah, but I wasn't. I wouldn't have thought, I mean, how much of, I don't think your team, I mean, let's just say, for example, you out of, I don't know, whatever, going through your head, you said, look, mate, you know, that was tough. Maybe the decision wasn't quite right. But your team doing that? Nah.
It's not going to happen, mate.
Nah, it's not going to happen.
Yeah, but we gave him the respect and then he just didn't give it back.
Also, you know, what you say, obviously after a fight, you must be just fucking buzzing. You know, adrenaline buzzing. I mean, look at the way AJ. I
was just going to say that, mate. What do you think about the fucking AJ reaction?
Yeah. Do you know what? You can half understand it because there's so much pressure. I feel nothing compared to what he feels, but it's a lot of pressure. And like on the day of my fight, and the sport gets amazing, but I'd go on my phone and it just make me nervous. Because I just have this influx. My phone is just wild. Because
you get a bit like anxiety,
A little bit. It makes you a little bit more nervous, and you think like all these messages are gonna make me watch in. I've bought a ticket. We're tuning in. And your phone just doesn't stop at that. And I just turned it off.
Yeah.
But then imagine if you're AJ.
Yeah.
That's just different level of pressure.
This is what I thought. To be honest with you, like he's somebody that he gets so much stick and. He does so much for the UK. You know, he represents the UK in such a great way. And like you say, he goes in there, he's risking his life to do what he's doing, and he's trying to represent. And the moment that, like, he's only human, you know, he slips up a little bit, and the amount of fucking hate that I saw on social media, mate, people doing TikToks, AJ, you're fucking disgusting, and this and that. It's like, whoa, just chill the fuck out. I know he made a bit of a fool of himself, but like, fuck me. His mind must, like, when you are, I suppose, preparing for this for months, you're so hyped up in your head, you've won, and then all of a sudden, like, you just can't compute.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, you haven't experienced that yet. You know?
Yeah, especially if it goes through a judges as well, you know?
Yeah.
You know
I think like people are waiting to hate on him a little bit.
Yeah.
And I think if you lose, it will reveal who wasn't really on your side anyway. So it can do you a favour in a sort of a way because you lose, then all these people reveal themselves to go, oh, news rubbish. I didn't think he was that good. Then you look at it, he's lost to one of the best guys in the world. Usyk is amazing. So there's no shame in it, but people with AJ, they want to see some personality from him because they think he's like some commercial.
Yeah.
He's very like commercial. He's brilliant for like adverts and stuff like that. And where like Fury, on the other hand, is very like raw, like off the cuff, and you get more like genuine personality. It seems.
Yeah.
So then,
you dosser.
Yeah. Beat you every day and twice on a Sunday.
Yeah, that's what he said. After the Usyk and KJ, he was like, "I beat both of you on the same night." Yeah. I reckon he fucking would as well.
Yeah.
What do you think of Tyson Fury? I mean, you know, it might be a stupid question, but. What do you think of his style, and is he as good as what everybody says, do you think?
I think he's very fortunate with his size. I think that's won him a couple of fights. I think, he is really good. He's good as people say. I think mentally he's quite intelligent. He's probably a lot more smarter than people think. And to do what he's done, you've got to be really good. And he knows how to sell himself and all these things. So, I do rate him.
Oh, absolutely.
How about when he fucking got up, though?
Oh, my God.
Shit,
he
mate.
was like out cold and then he just fucking went, ping! straight up.
Undertaker, innit? I love the memes. The Undertaker.
Unreal, that
one. Or that bit from Snatch. No, he gets up right at the end.
I haven't seen that.
Oh, he gets up. Boom.
You haven't seen Snatch?
I've probably seen Snatch, but I haven't seen the meme. Like,
oh, okay.
I can't.
They use like the sound over it, so like then he gets knocked out at the end, and he's like, "Stay down," then he gets up, and he's just like, "Wah." Yeah, it's good, man. It's good.
Have you been knocked out?
I did. I got put down. So I went my whole career never getting dropped, and then I sparred George Groves. George Groves.
Have heard that name?
He's a world champion, super middleweight. He fought Froch at Wembley.
Oh yeah, Carl Froch. I used to love Carl Froch.
Yeah, so Froch knocked him out, but he was really good. He's world champion, and this was 2018, and I went to his McGuigan's gym to spar. They paid me to do 6 rounds. And in the 6th round, it was good spar competitive. It was his last spar before he fought Eubank, so he was like sharp, like he was.
Right, yeah.
And in the 6th round, threw a lazy jab, and he just bam. I woke up on the floor, got up, finished the round, and I had concussion. It's my first proper time having bad concussion.
What's it like? What's it feel like?
Wouldn't recommend it. Really strange. It's like I
wouldn't recommend it.
Not ideal.
No, fucking want that, mate.
Not ideal. If you want to forget what you was up to.
Really?
Get a concussion. Yeah, I just remember little bits, like the coach putting money in my hands, and then like I was speaking to Shane McGuigan, and he was like, "You're right. When's your next fight?" And I said the date, and he was like, "What?" And I was like, "What?" He was like, "What was you saying?" And I was like, "What was you saying?" I was like, "What?"
I don't know what
Mate,
you're on about.
it's like someone pressing refresh on your head.
No.
You just start speaking, you're like, "What?"
Fuck.
It's weird. Don't remember getting home. Don't remember the train journey home with my coach. And then I was like, it was a big shock. Do you know what I mean? It happens.
Because you can't, if you get knocked out, you can't fight for a couple of months. Is that right?
If you do it in competition, you get a 28-day ban, or if it's a really bad knockout, longer. But it's to protect the fighter, and obviously there's a lot of damage and stuff.
Yeah.
But that's normally how it goes. Yeah, you get a 28-day ban.
Shit.
Yeah.
That's amazing. Are you worried about that?
Just don't think about it.
But are you worried like the future? When you're 50, 60 years old after your boxing career, all those fucking punches you're taking, mate. Obviously you don't want to take any punches. It can't be good.
Just comes with the territory. They're really on it, the British Boxing Board, with the health and safety. Do yearly medical, yearly brain scan, and then to make sure everything's really safe. And if it isn't, you can't fight.
Yeah.
But it's part of the job. It's part of the risk.
Yeah, I know, mate. I know.
What did your missus say about it then?
She like supports it and backs it and all that stuff, but it's I don't think she enjoys watching it. And similar to my mum, when they get there, they have to get really drunk.
Yeah,
because if they're sober, it's too real.
Yeah, when it's your family, mate. I've got a little nephew, and he was in a boxing gym, and then he had a little amateur fight at the club and stuff.
Brilliant.
And we went and watched it, and I was fucking really amped for it. But then as soon as he got in the ring and started getting it, I hated it.
Yeah.
This is horrible.
No control. And then when I watch my friends box, I get more nervous because if they just get absolutely ice on the floor, you just got to stand there and watch it. You can't do anything about it. But when it's you feel like you have more control, so you can do something about it. But
and I suppose as well, when you've got that knowledge of boxing, you're shouting out, "Do this, do that, fucking do this!" You go proper aggro, right?
Yeah. But yeah, you do hear some funny things being shouted when you're boxing. Hit him! Don't get hit! And you're like, no way.
Don't get hit! I'm fucking what? This is what I've been doing wrong all this time.
Sorry, bro. When you're fighting, mate, are you focused on what your coach and stuff is shouting at you, or are you just in that mode?
You listen out for your coach.
So you are like...
You know his voice, you can decipher his voice quite easy, but say when I fight Plymouth and it's really noisy, you can't probably decipher the individual words, but you feel the energy and it pumps you up, but you just listen for your coach. Yeah. But yeah, it's good. Atmosphere helps, definitely.
Yeah.
Nice, man.
And you said earlier about sort of when you have fights coming up and you've got social media and your social media is hot and your phone's flying and that, you just have to take it off. Like, what's it like going into the ring, and how do you mentally cope with the pressure and like the adrenaline? Because obviously the more adrenaline you've got, that knackers you out, right?
Yeah, it can work for you or against you.
It's probably a good balance that you need.
It's a good balance. I think like if you wasn't prepared, then you'd be a bit more nervous. But I do a weird thing is I write down every session I do. It's all logged in a book, and then before a fight I just flick through the log and I think, wow, I've done a lot. I'm really prepared.
Hey, that's good.
And I just feel my nerves just drift away. And then when you get in the ring,
one day and just go one piece of paper.
Someone's robbed it all out. I'm like, I fucking ain't trained. I'm fucked. I'm so fit.
But that's a really good.
Pages you got heavy? Well, I got on fucking one page.
10 sit-ups went on.
So that's a really good technique, actually. Did somebody tell you that? Or
I think I heard of Carl Froch doing it, but I've done it since I was an amateur, just because I'm a bit of a weirdo. I like things how I like them. I like to do things in a certain way, almost like a real big creature of habit. I have to tick certain things off, and like that makes everything easier.
Yeah, I think a lot of sportsmen do that. They these little quirks that they've got. They have to, like, putting on their left sock first and all this, bit of superstition and things like that,
Yeah, every person's different, but it's, I think we're all probably a bit weird, I think, to be honest. So you just got to...
Yeah. It's not weird, man.
Whatever makes you got to know the work's done. So
you're going into battle, though, man, aren't you? You can get fucking hurt. You've got to be... It must be so hard. Thinking about you flicking through your book to try and get rid of your nerves before a fight. We don't see any of that. Yeah. We don't see any of the nerves. We just say, here's Brad. Oh, come on, son. You get all fucking hyped up. You don't see that you're nervous at all, mate.
Yeah.
Or any of them when they come out. Because you're not, are you? You've
got to. I think you just go in that sort of fucking focus, and the stare down and shit. And, because that's the other thing as well. It's such a, obviously it's a very physical game you're playing, but like the mental side of things as well, the mind games that you've got to try to play with the other opponent as well as yourself. Do you read any books or listen to any things have you done any things throughout your boxing career that sort of breathing exercises or meditations or anything like that to just try to focus yourself?
I have a sports mind coach.
Okay.
And I've been working with him since 2019. I think a lot of fighters do, like Carl Froch did and Anthony Joshua does, and a lot of fighters do, but they might not say they do.
Yeah.
But it's just putting your ducks in order, and it's just, you can always add something, even if you just add 1%. If that mind coach just added 1%, but it's, your mind is the most powerful thing.
Absolutely.
And you will learn that. It's everything, it's all your mind. So if you can get that mastered, then you've smashed it. But
yeah. Did you notice a big sort of leap when you started learning how to mentally prepare yourself for fights?
Yeah, I started enjoying my training camps more,
right?
Because everything was clear what I needed to do, what I could take confidence from, what would add to my game. Do you know what I mean? It was right before I won my first title in 2019. So whether it's coincidence or whatever, but I find it definitely helps, man. Your mind is the most powerful thing, definitely.
Yeah. And what about like all the training you have to get involved with and stuff like that? Because we mentioned earlier about like the diet. Out of sort of percentage. Obviously, you've got to train physically, to be strong. You've got to have the diet. You've got to spar. You've got to just do other fucking boxing, shadow boxing, bag work, and all that sort of stuff. Technique. What's the ratio with all these things?
You want boxing to be the main focus. Like you see some fighters and do like loads of strength conditioning and all these things, but the main thing you want to do is boxing's the main thing.
Right.
Anything else that can help the boxing. So I don't know. For me, I get up, box every day at 11, and then add other sessions around it. But I keep most of my energy for the boxing sessions, for the sparring, bags, pads, technique, and then once I finish my session, I can do run in the evening, strength conditioning, swimming, hill sprints, track work. But boxing's the main thing because me getting in there and being able to do 100 pull-ups. Okay, but I want to be better at boxing. Do you know what I mean? Not doing pull-ups, but anything that adds to it. But it's a lot. It's a lot of training, and
What do you eat?
Not a lot.
Honest.
What's your calorie intake?
Depends how close I am to the fight, but it's around 1,800, 1,900, 2,000. Depends how many times I train that day.
Okay.
Count all my calories.
What's an average? Is it 2,500 average for a man?
Yeah, roughly, yeah.
But it's only about 1,000 for me because I'm like fucking half pint. It's not that funny, Brad.
I need you a diet, mate. I need you a diet. That's what I need. Fucking make welterweight. I'll be sweet.
Is it like lots of meat or fish and things like that?
Just, as long as you hit your protein. So, 20 grams of protein plus per meal, 4 or 5 times a day, something like that. And then,
Well, you've just been for a spar this morning. Walk us through what happened there then. Because you've got to do the black eye, ain't you?
Zigged when I should have zagged, mate. That's what happened. Defend yourself at all times. Zigged when I should have zagged.
I've got to ask you, I thought of this actually. We'll come back to that because I want to know about your spar today. But, or just your sparring in total. But I've got to ask you this. This is a really weird question. How many times when people meet you do they go, all right, mate? Hey, fucking all right, mate. They must. You must have had that so many times.
25%. 25%. Yeah. It happens. It does.
So you're sparring then. Like, I suppose again, it must it must depend on how close you are up to a certain fight. So they wouldn't go like flat out with you just before a fight, right?
Nah, so fight week you won't spar, but then the week before that is when you get your last tough spars in, so maybe like the Friday the week before. And then you got to tick it off. So say you got a 10-round fight, you do 10 or 12 round sparring and tick it off the list and know you're fit enough. And normally you do it, you'll have maybe a couple of different sparring partners so they stay fresh. One in, one out, or one does 5, one does 7.
Yeah. And leading up to the Kelly fight, would you sort of try to spar somebody who's got a similar style to him, or?
Yeah. We had good sparring in the gym. It's good to spar people probably better than your opponent, I find. Like, I'm sparring, say, like Linus, my friend, and he's probably a level above or 2 above Kelly. So, like, it's going to make the fight easier if you obviously you train.
Absolutely,
hard. Yeah. But yes, sparring's important. The variety, and then you train with better people, you become better. So yeah,
that's all walks of life, mate. You know, you surround yourself with people you aspire to be, and like people that want to make you better and things like that. That's the people you want to hang around with.
Product of your environment, isn't you?
Yeah, it's that saying, show me your friends, I'll show you your future.
Yeah, that's it. 100%.
Yeah. So I've got a question about, because this fucking dude, I started doing a bit of I don't like doing too much research because otherwise I don't bother asking the questions because I already know it.
Yeah, go on.
But I saw this guy that thinks he's let me see if you can recognize who it is. He thinks he's a league above everybody else, which I suppose that's a lot of boxers.
Yeah, deluded.
Throwing water.
Oh, is it? Oh.
So this Idris
Virgo, yeah.
Yeah. So this was a couple of years ago. Like one of your managers or something said, like, I'll give you 125 grand or something.
If he could beat me, yeah. It's my manager, Steve. He's very wealthy, and he proved he had the money. He was like, you can beat Brad, I'll give you that money. Yeah. And he was like, no. 120 for a 4-6 rounder, it's unheard of for that much money.
Right.
And what you have a little bit of it now is you have people, say like him, who's come from reality TV, who use his profile, but they just want to be a professional boxer for the label. They don't intend to fight anyone where it's competitive. They'll fight journeymen and stuff like this.
Yeah.
And then when it gets put on him for a real fight, it's just what happened. He just disappeared. I don't think he's boxed since.
Hasn't he?
He might have had one fight against another journeyman, and he's just sort of fizzled out and moved around. I don't know what he's done. And he's
right.
Yeah,
so you're right. It's all about the name. Just to say
and like the way he was acting, it's like people wanted some justice to be done on him because I don't know how well you know boxing, but the way he was treating that journeyman was very, very disrespectful. That journeyman's almost doing him a favour.
Right.
And he's
the one he threw the water over?
Threw the water.
He's done it twice now, right?
Yeah, and he does it because, but it's almost like bullying. He's fighting a guy that he is overmatched, and he knows he's probably going to win, and the guy's just there for a bit of money, and he's just bullying this guy.
Right.
And that's why it got a bit of an uproar, and people wanted some justice served on Idris. And I was like, I'll do it.
Yeah.
I'm happy to do it. No one likes a bully. And he has a bit of a name, and I thought, okay, I'd teach him a lesson. I'd probably help him out in life.
Yeah.
If I teach him this lesson. And he just, no matter what, he just would not take the fight. So.
Yeah, because I saw a couple of interviews, mate. It's this guy, right?
I don't know nothing about that.
So basically, yeah, it's a guy that came off of, what was it? What island?
Love Island.
Love Island, okay. So, and he's sat in there, he's got his fucking shades on, he's giving it all the fucking big I am. And the matey across the sea, he was like me and Brad away. And obviously given I'm going to beat you because, no, I'm going to beat you because. And then he's just sort of got some water and just splashed over his face. You know, and this shit like that happens. But obviously, what Brad said there about the backstory, he was almost like doing this guy a favor, and then he just continues to throw water and stuff, and you know, and then he did it again on another interview.
Right.
And
what's he called? Idris
Virgo. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And I did see he was all suited up one day, and someone said about fighting you.
Yeah.
And he's like, well, Brad's here, and I'm like here. So
it's delusion, mate. It's straight on pure delusion. Yeah, it's
and now he's gone, is he?
He's gone. Yeah, I think he had one fight and it was a tough one. Then he went, "No, I don't think this is for me." I haven't heard of him since.
Listen. I don't like. from what I saw, and I know you said he was up against the journeymans and that, but I thought he actually had pretty good fucking skill and he got some good weight behind him. You know?
Yeah, he's probably like okay, but you got to remember it's easy to look good when you're fighting these guys.
Yeah,
if you're fighting for example, that guy through the water on. I've met him, absolutely lovely guy from up north. He's a really nice guy. He had at the time 9 straight losses, no wins.
Right.
So it's easy to look good against these overmatched guys. But he's probably like okay-ish, I guess.
Yeah,
but it's only because of his name he's got the platform to do these things. But if he carried on, eventually you'd get found out. Yeah. But he didn't want it.
No. Fucking hell. Wonder what he's doing now then.
I know.
Professional golfer or something.
Probably a manager at Screwfix.
He started a podcast.
I'm gonna have to fucking take that out now, aren't I?
Sorry, mate.
You really.
Sorry, man. I fucking stumped you there, haven't I?
It was a good one, though. It was a good one. So, what do you reckon about the YouTube boxing, mate? Have you watched any of the fights and that?
Do you know what? I didn't pay for it, but I did watch it.
That's what she said.
You've always got to get that in, haven't you? He gets that in every podcast, Brad. It's in every fucking video.
Never too old, mate. Never grow up.
No, he can't.
Which ones have you seen then? Because
I watched KSI's 2 fights and stuff. I'd never pay for it. I'm not. But I found a way to watch it if I pay for it. Don't tell the police.
Yeah.
I don't want to go down.
The next YouTube, mate. You can next day on YouTube.
Yeah.
What did you think about all the fights?
I think it's not regulated by the British Boxing Board. So it's not going to be as safe. Okay. Eventually, someone will get hurt. I think because obviously it's very regulated pro boxing, but this isn't pro boxing. But it's done in a similar way. No head guards, small gloves. I think it needs a separate subcategory because it's not boxing. It's influencer boxing, YouTube boxing, but they shouldn't be recognised as boxers because they're not. They're YouTubers who have done a bit of boxing.
I've never thought about it like that before. It's a good point, mate.
Tell me again. Sorry, mate. Tell me about. You say it's not professional boxing, but they've signed up to be professional. So what's the difference?
It's sort of like. It's not properly professional, I don't think. Say like the referees and there and stuff, they're not proper professional referees. And when it's professional, it has to be regulated.
Okay.
So like,
because the second boxer that KSI fought was actually a pro boxer.
Yeah.
And he performed probably the worst out of all of them.
So that guy,
my head. Yeah. My head. My fucking head.
that guy that had lost 5, won 2. Who did he beat? Because he was shit. Who did that guy beat?
He was terrible.
Because he was terrible. He was real bad.
Yeah.
But
he was
he was a pro going to YouTube boxing. Like it's so he wouldn't need the regulation.
It's not regulated the same. They're not having the brain scans the same way. They're not having all these weeks off if they get knocked out.
No, it's not.
Obviously, they're not.
Yeah. But then Tommy Fury was supposed to be up against Jake Paul.
Now, I think sometimes they do actual pro shows, then it is regulated.
Right.
They have to get their license and stuff. I think Jake Paul is an actual pro, but these guys were just YouTubers.
Right.
Like the undercard, like the show was a YouTuber card, so like it wasn't.
So you know that? Did you see the KSI versus Logan Paul a few years ago?
I watched the highlights and stuff, but because
they had 2 fights.
Yeah,
and that was, I think the first fight was head guard and that, and then the second fight was what they called a pro fight because there was no head guards and what weight?
10 ounce.
Yeah. So they were using 10 ounce, I think. And then obviously Logan fought fucking what's his name? Oh man, the Mayweather, yeah. So again, I would have thought that would have been a pro fight.
I don't know. It gets confused. See, it gets muddied. I think it gets confusing. I don't think that would have went on Mayweather's record because he's. 15
oh no! It was like an exhibition fight sort of thing.
It's like a money grab. It's just a money spinner. All of it is just a money spinner, and because they've felt like fair play to them, they've built their name in such a big way. They can do things like this, and they've built their YouTube. There's something about them that's talented that they've been able to do this, but it doesn't make them a boxer.
No.
So they're just knowing how to work the system. It gives them something to do that generates money. Sell out the O2. They couldn't sell out the O2 doing a YouTube video. Let's fight each other. It's not regulated. I
have to sort of defend them in a way because when you say they're not a boxer, what is defined as a boxer? Because they've
it's a lifestyle, I think, Ben.
Well, yeah.
Eat lightning, crap thunder.
No, because I'm saying but as you were going through the boxing, you probably had a job. You know, you were doing something, and you were doing. I got a box tonight. You know, all that sort of stuff. And I suppose their job, you could say, is YouTubing, but they're going to the gym every day. They're sparring every day. They're working out every day. They're inspiring to be boxers, and they're performing to a level.
Yeah, I think, but the application is different.
Right.
So let's look at me, right? So I boxed since I was 10 years old till I was 22, amateur. Had 56 amateur fights. Never had a season off. Dedicated everything to it. 22 to now, professional.
Yeah.
I've not made 1% of what they've made, and I've done everything in my life only boxing. So fair enough. You can call me a boxer. They've done none of that apprenticeship, but want the same titles. Yeah, that's why I said a subcategory, like a YouTube boxer. But
they should call it YouTube fighting.
Yeah, it's not real.
I sort of say what you're saying.
Yeah, it's not. It's not the same.
It's a bit like sort of. Me going home and my missus saying, "Oh, the doors come off the head," and I screw it back up and say, "I'm a fucking joiner now," isn't it? I suppose.
So, yeah, definitely. Yeah. It's like me doing 2 videos on YouTube next week, getting 10,000 views, and going, "I'm a fucking YouTuber." You'd be like, "No, you're fucking not, mate. I've been doing this shit 10 years."
Yeah. Okay, well, I get what you're saying. Yeah. Would you ever?
Yeah, put the fucking graft in like I have.
You got work, mate.
Fucking shoulders going a lot.
Would you ever consider fighting a YouTuber?
Absolutely.
Yeah?
Easiest fight for the most money possible. It's an absolute robbing the bank. Absolutely robbing the bank.
You could probably make it happen, mate.
I probably could.
Mate, any of them.
Really?
Absolutely. Easiest money ever. They wouldn't win a Southern area. They wouldn't win ABAs. They wouldn't win nothing.
Yeah?
Yeah, 100%.
Who would you like to? If you were to call out somebody, who would it be? Out of, what is it? Jake Paul. You've got Jake Paul, KSI, Deji,
Logan Paul.
Logan Paul, yeah.
I'm probably related to one of those Paul ones.
That's a good point.
Imagine that, mate. Imagine that. Bro.
I don't know, man. Like, they don't seem like bad guys. I don't personally hate them or anything like that. Like, fair play to them. Like, maybe I should start a YouTube channel and I'll start making some money. But
you've got a YouTube channel though, haven't you?
No, I'm not like that. I've just socials. But yeah. Any of them that pay me the most, to be honest. Yeah.
Money. It would be to go up against any.
You're a YouTuber, aren't you? I'll get up 5 years.
Give it a go, mate.
Fucking hell. I'll be fucking referee. Hang on, guys. As soon as you go down, mate, I'll be like, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, you're fucking gone.
Cheers, mate. I'll give you 20 kilos.
But so you would consider it then? It would be something that you would consider?
Absolutely. It'd be stupid to say no. If they went...
It would be a huge paycheck, mate.
Yeah, if they went, $1 million to fight someone that's the easiest fight you've ever had.
Yeah, man. Yeah. You don't think it'd damage, if you say you did do it, say it happened in 6 months' time, you don't think it'd damage your reputation?
And if you lost.
Oh, you're not going to lose.
Then I'd swan dive off headland with rocks in my pockets. I ain't coming back up, son. If I get beat by them, you won't see me again.
I've jumped off headland, mate. You jumped off headland?
Yeah, I did it when I was like 13. I went back as an adult and I was like, that is mental.
I've done exactly
How
the same
did I do
thing.
that? There's seagulls flying underneath you.
I took my kids there and they were like, fuck. My missus was like, fuck no. Yeah, man. I'm surprised I didn't die.
Oh, mate.
It's the proper Newquay thing, isn't it?
I didn't jump first, though, mate.
No,
mate, Adam jumped first.
Make sure it's safe.
Yeah, man.
I've not done that. I was born in Newquay.
Yeah.
And then moved away when I was 3 and came back when I was about 17.
Don't do it, mate. It's not worth it.
Fuck me. I ain't going to do that shit now, mate.
Yeah, it's dangerous, man.
But going back to the YouTube boxing, I think you've got to give them some sort of respect to go, because you know how dangerous it is, right, to go into the ring. So I think there's got to be some sort of respect there for them.
I respect it, and like some of them seem like they train hard. Like you see Jake Paul and all these things, they seem like they train hard. I respect anyone who gets in the ring, but I give props when they're deserved, and they're not quite deserved yet from certain people. You just like say for example the guy that KSI boxed, the Swarms guy.
So
I was in the gym with him, so I went to spar in this other gym, and he was in there training. It was on the fight week. I was watching him spar, and I was like, obviously he's boxed for 2 weeks.
Yeah.
So he just pulled the guy off the street to fight someone, and I was like, KSI's not in danger of getting hurt. That guy, do you know what I mean?
That's why he did 2 fights in one night.
Yeah,
because he was supposed to be up against.
That was ridiculous. It pissed me off watching that. Sorry, Ben.
Wasabi, that's his name. Alex Wasabi.
Yeah.
Wasabi.
Yeah, you said that. Yeah. That pissed me off watching that. When I saw KSI fighting those 2 fighters, I thought that's fucking ridiculous. It's shit. Absolute shit.
Can't defend himself.
I was excited to watch KSI box because I've not really seen much of him.
I tell you who
did a lot better.
I was just gonna say. I tell you, I think performed the best was Deji because that was his 3rd fight and he'd lost the first 2.
Yeah.
You know, just purely down to stamina, just health. You know, he didn't drop the weight.
He didn't last one round. Mate.
Yeah, but this time, mate, I mean, he did really well, and the technique was there. I mean, obviously, technique was there to a good standard. You know, probably again nothing to what a professional level would be. Yeah, but it's still a damn good standard. I'm like proud of what he did.
I respect it. Like everyone likes an underdog story. He lost 2. Yeah, and he didn't stop. Do you know what I mean? But yeah, improvement. But yeah, YouTube boxing.
So Pauls versus Pauls. Yeah, Pauls versus Pauls.
Yeah.
It's going to happen, isn't it?
Yeah, well fucking KSI. Make it easier, innit? England.
Yeah, do it outside sailors.
Outside sailors. Fucking hell.
Outside dirty birdies.
Sausage Central.
Do you get some people giving you aggro because you are a pro boxer? And they think that they want to start fights with you and stuff like that, you know?
A little bit sometimes. Yeah. If like they've got something to prove against you. A lot of people just want to give you their 2 cents on what they think you should be doing.
Right.
And they go, I think if you did this and you use your double jab more and you just think, I've got one of the best coaches up there, and now you're just gonna come take his job. Don't worry like that. But overall, everyone's sound. Everyone is so sound. Can't complain, man. It's all love.
What's the next level for you now then? You want to go for the British title, right?
Yeah, so I honestly don't have a clue what's happening. So
that's your dream at the minute.
All I want is the British belt. It's the best belt ever.
Deserve it, mate.
Yeah.
16-0, you deserve it, don't you?
Yeah, I want it, but it's looking like I find out on Wednesday if I get mandated for the English title. Then if you win the English, you've secured your shot at the British.
Right.
But then there's more. It's like who shows it going to be on. It's very businessy boxing, and the fighter's right at the bottom of the pile. Like you get the news last, so you have all these people sorting all the stuff out for you, and you go right. We don't know when your next fight is, and whose show and what belt it's for, and you're the last one to know.
Right.
But all this stuff's going on right now, so I find that if we get mandated for the English, it's good. But yeah, so at the minute I don't know. I'm just training.
Just focus on your training.
Just training. I know I'll fight again this year. Worst case scenario, there's a show in Plymouth 29th of October I can jump on. Right. Worst case scenario.
We'll be able to,
6 round.
Be able to get us a couple of tickets, mate.
I'll sort you out.
Yeah.
Yeah. VIP.
Yeah, man. Yeah, that'd be fucking amazing.
Yeah.
Use your double jab more.
we need some ring girls, actually.
It's him. Yeah. Use your double jab more.
We fucking said we need some ring girls.
Yeah, do you know who I am?
Oh, fucking hell.
Ronnie Pickering.
Ronnie Pickering. I'm Ronnie fucking Pickering.
Yeah, mate.
Oh, mate. So, yeah, if you get that, what's after that then? How old are you now?
That's
29.
That's what I want to know.
You're still a young pup, mate.
I've got time. I've got a good few years left. But I just want the British. I don't even thought about anything else. Just want the British title. And if when we win it, we'll go from there. But
you will.
£1 million YouTube fight.
Yeah, that's it. Cash out and then just
cash out, mate. Fucking go.
Come buy a flat in Newquay for £500,000. 1 bedroom.
1 bedroom flat. It's fucking like that, isn't it?
How long do you think it could be before you get that shot?
I think it'll be next year.
Oh really?
The guy I was sparring today, he was British champ.
Oh yeah.
He's the British champ, Denzel. Yeah. So
you got your fucking. What happened there then, mate?
Fell over. Fell over earlier. Nothing to do. Fine. So, should see the other guy. He's absolutely fine.
So Denzel's the British title.
He's the British title holder, but he's defended. That was his last bar day, so he's defended it next week. And then he said he might vacate, and then when he vacates, it opens up then.
Right.
So
even if he loses next week.
No, we want him to win. Because if he loses, it gets complicated. So if he loses and the guy who wins gets a voluntary.
Right.
So he gets to pick his opponent. Would he pick me? I don't know. Probably not.
Right.
And then he gets a mandatory. But you got this is spread between 4 months, maybe 8 months, something like that. So then, yeah, it's better if Denzel wins, then vacates, and then that's when my manager comes in. And he goes, right, I'll put Brad in for it.
Right.
The board go, right, we agree Brad's next in line because of his last fight or whatever.
Yeah.
And then they go, right, Brad versus someone else next in line for the British.
Nice.
Then that's where it's all their job, the
Yeah.
people in the office job. This is, so then we'll see. But I think next year it's more than possible, especially if you win the English title as well, then that secures everything. Yeah. So just got to keep winning.
You got a good chance, mate. I think you could do it.
Cheers, man.
Yeah,
Imagine that, bringing the British title back here.
Back to Newquay.
Mate, that'd be fucking on this table, man. Yeah,
Mate, we'll
yeah,
do it.
mate.
I promise you, boys. If I win the British title, we'll come back here. We'll have a chat about it.
Oh,
Yeah,
mate,
man.
that'd be brilliant.
Lovely bout, lovely
couple
bout.
of beers, that'd be amazing.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, but like there's a hell of a lot of politics and like things around boxing, isn't there? About who should fight and and who's ready for this, and it gets so complicated. And the other thing I'm going to say is, which might come across a little bit controversial, but you hear it all the time, don't you? When there's a close fight or you think that somebody should have beaten that, it's about what's it, a fix?
Yeah.
Like, what's your view on that? Is it possible to fix? I suppose it is. Money talks, right?
I say it. I think it's not straight up fixing, but then you got to follow the money. So say like, if you have a home fighter who's a massive draw and he makes that company a lot of money, and you got to think they've employed them judges for the night and put them on these good wages for this big show because this home fighter is a big draw, and then he has a fight and the fight's close and they're like,
there's got to be something.
This guy's paying everyone's wages here,
Yeah.
and it sways towards the home fighter. That's why you've got to do everything you can do to be the home fighter.
Okay,
but it's boxing. It's like.
I suppose like that is in every sport, right?
There's an amount of money involved. It has to be, doesn't it? There's got to be shit like that.
And boxing's subjective as well. It's not like football. The ball goes over the line.
Yeah.
It's a goal.
Yeah.
Boxing's a little bit more
It's someone's
subjective.
opinion on who's won the fucking round, isn't it?
That's it, yeah. So it's easy to sort of manipulate the result a little bit to sway towards the home fighter. It does happen.
Yeah.
Just the way of the world sometimes, isn't it?
What's the best boxing match you've ever seen?
That's a good question. Right?
Good question. Go back to Ricky Hatton. I don't know if you remember, he fought a guy called Kostya Tszyu, and it's when he won his world title, and he was like,
I used to watch Ricky Hatton. So
man possessed. He was just like, I'm going to win this fight.
Bloke.
Yeah. And I just love that fight. 'Cause he was just like, it was in his head. He was like, I'm not losing. He was like, I'm going to win this fight. He just went mad on it. It's lovely.
Is that somebody that you sort of aspire to be, like, down to the style? I mean, whose style? What would you call your style?
Have you got
there a style?
influences like that you sort of like love?
I think you can, but then I think you get what you're given. Do you know what I mean? Like I could try box up Mayweather to get my head knocked off. Do you know what I mean? But you see little things you like and you pick up. I like I don't know if Golovkin and Canelo and stuff like this. I tried to box up
Canelo,
yeah, they're good. But just work with what you got basically.
I find that I think the world of Tyson Fury, but his style of fighting, it's very old school, isn't it? It's proper like.
Yeah,
I was like, it's almost like rabbit punching. Sometimes I see him do. It's a bit cringy to watch, but I wouldn't like to be behind it. Do you know what I mean?
I used to be like that when I first started watching Fury. I was like, fucking hell, man, his style's like nasty. It's horrible to watch.
Yeah,
but now I fucking love him.
Yeah,
it's effective. So he does it. It's effective. It works for him. He does it.
And matey that he fought with his fucking stinger hook that he's got. What's his name? Who actually knocked him out. And then he got it back up.
The American dude.
Yeah.
Deontay Wilder.
Yeah. But is he like a one-trick pony? Is he like a one-trick pony? Do you think?
I think he can be outboxed. But then, like they say, he's got that equalizer. So he just has to land one. He could lose 4 rounds in a row. But if he just lands one on you, he's just got
Hasn't
that
he
power.
got one of the strongest punches?
Yeah. It's just different level of power. That's boxing. Anything can happen, especially with heavyweights as well. There's a lot of weight getting thrown around, so it just takes one shot and it's over.
Tyson's a one, mate, for me. I think he's the best boxer ever who's ever existed.
Really?
I think so. Tyson, mate. Yeah, he's a real animal. Mike Tyson.
Oh, Mike. Oh, definitely.
Mike Tyson. Yeah.
I thought you were saying Tyson Fury.
No, I think he's the best boxer ever.
Oh, mate, he's fuck it, mate. I remember
a
as
little
a
bit
kid,
controversial and shit, wasn't he? But fuck me, when he was young.
When I was a kid growing up watching him, it was just like everyone was just totally scared of him.
Yeah, he didn't fake nothing. It's not like he pretended to be crazy for the cameras. He was tapped in the head, and he was faking it. He would kill you.
Yeah. Have you been watching on Disney Plus at the moment the new Mike?
No,
series.
I'm saving it. I'm going to watch
I'm
it. It's good.
in the middle of the 3rd episode right now, mate. Fucking brilliant. Oh man,
I haven't seen it.
It goes into his life and that about his life.
From the age of like fucking 5 upwards.
Tough.
It is so damn good. And I don't know. I might be getting confused, but I think that isn't Jamie Foxx got a movie coming out?
Yeah. I've seen that when he's doing the intro for it and he's talking about it. Yeah.
Have you heard his impression of Mike Tyson?
Yeah. It's the list.
Is it really good? Yeah, with the lisp and that.
It's better than Mike Tyson. It's amazing.
Well, you try it, Ben.
Eh?
Do you try Mike Tyson?
I don't think I can. I can't do it.
He's usually pretty good at impressions, mate.
That's probably because of these on.
It's the pressure, mate. It's the pressure.
It's the pressure. Maybe I need to do your mental exercise before. But no, man, he was just so damn good to watch, wasn't he? You know, and he's gone through so much shit throughout his life. Do you watch his podcasts?
Some of them, hotboxing.
Yeah. Really good. I'm talking about how
isn't he a weed farmer now?
Yeah. He's got like a complex you can go to. It's like a fucking hotel spa, and just fucking smoke weed.
Stoned out your face.
Yeah. I should do that. I'll smash that at Newquay. As a business idea.
But like he did like the Toad and stuff like that, didn't he?
The DMT.
The trippy stuff.
Have you heard about that? That's a sort of apparently that shit.
Is it ayahuasca? Is that ayahuasca?
Ayahuasca.
Ayahuasca. Something. Yeah, it's like a type of acid.
It's fucking crazy.
Apparently, it's really good for you.
It resets your brain. Apparently, like
I heard a really good analogy of it. So it's like, say your brain day-to-day life, and it's like it's like a mountain that has snow on it. You go down the same paths all the time. It's all like the rigid paths. Yeah. And you always go down the same ones because it's like the dents in the snow. But then when you do acid, you have this like really like an enlightening experience. It's like a fresh layer of snow. Nice. So it gives you different ways to think about the way you like deal with life and stuff. Yeah, so it's like just making your brain like fresh again, giving like a different perspective. But I get drug tested, so I won't be doing it. But for people who do it, it sounds like it can help you.
Yeah, I wouldn't advise it. Don't do drugs. Stay in school. Don't do that.
Have you heard the stories about people when they do this DMT? They see the same sort of shit. Like they see jesters and clowns and shit, and they all sort of see these clowns. Like Rogan was saying that he saw these.
Well, you wouldn't know that. You were afraid of clowns, weren't you?
I fucking hate clowns, mate. Yeah, I would end up Brad Paul in her ass, mate. I would. Yeah, I don't like clowns.
Shadow boxing. There's no one there. You're like,
yeah, mate. On DMT, shadow boxing in the mirror.
What's it called? Of the fear of, is it chlora? Is it something? It's not chlorophobia. It's something like that, isn't it?
It's got a name. Yeah, it's got a name.
The fear of clowns. Let me just.
It comes from a kid, mate. In my nan's house, he had like fucking these weird ass clown dolls in the bedroom and stuff, you know. And I used to have nightmares and fucking coming alive and all that.
Creepy things, isn't they?
Yeah, man.
Creepy things.
Don't like it.
Fear of clowns. How do you pronounce that, mate? Coulrophobia?
Coulrophobia.
Coulrophobia.
Just been diagnosed.
Coulrophobia.
There you go.
Diagnosed.
Cheers, mate. Cheers. I'll go see the doctor.
Everyone's got their vice, mate. Everyone's got their vice. Everyone's got their fear, mate.
So, what have you got coming up in the next few weeks then, mate? Because you're always out and about, travelling around and that sort of stuff.
Yeah, so there's a charity boxing show in Mevergissey tomorrow. Sold out.
Tell you about that, mate. Man down.
That's it. Yeah. Love all them guys. Yeah. And I said I'd go and hand out trophies and stuff. Got some t-shirts for them.
Oh, nice, man.
Yeah. So he gave me a ringside seat, and it's all sold out, so it's good. And I thought I'd show my face. Good cause and that. Yeah. See how I'm doing that. Sort of come down for on this.
Wicked, man.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
Wicked. It's really cool.
And like you've got a hell of a lot of sponsors at the moment as well, right?
I'm very, 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 very lucky. Yeah. I think a lot of my sponsors are like guys that like boxing, but they've got no other boxers to sponsor because there is none.
Ah, don't put yourself down, mate. No. Because if you were shit or like you're a dickhead, they'd be like, oh, "Fuck that dude. I want my money somewhere else." Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. No, mate. I'm really, really lucky. I've got I think maybe like 8 full-time sponsors, 9 full-time. So I just crack on after work, just boxing every day. That's it. No stress about nothing else.
Because it's it's a tough game, isn't it? The boxing. I don't want to ask the questions, but obviously you've won every single match you've had, so you're probably better off than most people out there.
Yeah.
But I don't think that it gets the real money until you start really going into like the bigger fights, right?
So that's how it works. It's a funny one. It's like no money, silly money, and you tend to make the most of your money maybe the last quarter of your career.
You're
so
right.
the bit I'm coming into now, but not everyone makes a lot of money, and there's fights where I've lost money. I've gone through. Yeah.
Oh shit! Really?
You've got to put money into the house. You've got to pay for the shows, and if you've not sold enough tickets, you can lose money. So I had to train for 12 weeks and lost 400 quid.
Oh,
you think, why am I doing this? But you do that with the hope that one day it'll work out better off. And it's starting to a little bit, but yeah, sponsorships, best things ever. Because I couldn't imagine working full time and then having to train before and after work.
Oh mate, yeah.
Anyone who does that, absolutely fair play to you, because that is pure graft.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right, mate. I mean, you got any more questions, mate?
I could just sit here for fucking hours just chatting shit, but I know it's probably had enough.
Well, then I'll get off.
Yeah, but it's just stupid shit, you know? What car do you drive? What fucking food do you like? Oh, you're talking about that.
Well, mate, it's been an absolute pleasure.
Mate,
Have
thanks
you
for
on,
having
man.
me.
It's
Mate,
been so
really
good.
appreciate it. I'm going to come back with a British title for you guys, yeah, I promise.
Definitely. Do it, mate.
Wish you all the best,
Got
mate.
words, thank you.
Yeah.
You're fucking awesome, man.
Legends.
Your confidence is amazing. You're a nice guy. I wish you all the best.
Thanks, appreciate it, boys.
Is there any sort of plugs that you want to get anybody to like follow you on X, Y, and Z or anything like that?
At Brad Pauls on pretty much everything, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. Follow me and come to my fights if you can. It'd be good. And tune in. Get some more wins.
Sick.
Get
All right,
on,
dude.
thanks.
Nice one.
Jake Paul, come and get him.
Fucking right, man.